Hello, Captains, and welcome back to the channel. I am your host, USS Endeavor, and this is part 2 of the Minsk, where we are going to be taking a look at the pocket cruiser role that this ship can offer. I will be honest, though, in the game that you're about to see, it doesn't exactly go according to plan. I am in a division, which is definitely helpful and probably one of the reasons why we are successful in this game. It is a very tight game, so stick around for that. It's going to be exciting. So let's take a look at the commander and see how she performs. At the helm, we have Vladimir Trubetskoy, which is going to increase the damage, or decrease, rather, our incoming damage to our destroyer by 7.2%. And our inspirations are Blue Furia and Vincent Mordoff, which is going to help with our speed and our DPM. This is the exact same build that we've used with the Nevny, so there's not going to be a lot of differences here. Using Observant Rage and Mortar, which helps spec into the gun's reload and damage potential. Twist and Track, which is going to help our turret traverse on our abysmal turrets. And Cloudy Days, which is going to help our engine boost come back because we need it as often as we possibly can. With Unstoppable, just in case we lose our engine, we can still maneuver. Onto the mod slots, we have Turret Traverse in the first, Propulsion mod in the second, and we are using the Steering Gears mod in the third. So there is absolutely nothing with concealment in this build. Same smoke generator and speed boost as you all know. That hasn't changed and won't. On to the actual ship stats itself. We have the exact same survivability at 15,100, so that has not changed. On to the artillery, that has changed. We have the same guns, but everything stat-wise minus the fire setting chance has improved. So we have a greater firing range because the flag that we're using also increases it by 5%. We have a lower reload time of 3.6 seconds versus the 4, and our 180-degree turn time of our turrets has benefited by over 10 seconds, bringing it down to 19.6. And our HE shell and AP shell damage has increased from the concealment build. Onto the torpedoes, this has gotten a very slight nerf, very slight difference, and where the biggest differential is your torpedo speed. It's slower by 4 knots, but at 70 knots, these things still, they go really fast in the water, so don't have to worry about that. Very negligible difference there. Our AA suite is still the same. It is a very low rated 23, which only starts at 3.2 kilometers and has a very weak DPM. On to the maneuverability, we have a maximum speed of 46.1 knots, which is a little bit faster than the concealment build, along with a better rudder shift time due to the Steering Gears mod in the third slot. So this has become very fast and very maneuverable stock prior to the speed boost. So just keep that in mind. This thing is very quick. However, your concealment is going to take a massive hit. But remember, you got to change your focus. Think of it as a low concealed cruiser. And then these stats don't seem so bad, because 7.4 kilometer range for a cruiser is actually stellar. And the 3.9 detection by air is also very impressive. But from a DD perspective, yes, it's very bad. On to my actual ship stats. They're the exact same. 65% win rate in this thing is pretty good. But, yeah. So, on to the armor. Still the same. Hasn't changed. Can bounce 203s if shot with AP and angled properly. All right, Captains, we're on hotspot, and I am not alone. I am in a division with USS Kuba May and UMC Eclipse. They're in the Zara and Hood, respectively, as I'm in the Minsk. As you all already know, we spawn across from Charlie, and we are in a very Tier 7 heavy stacked match. So we are at a disadvantage right early on. However, being in a division helps a little bit. And they are good players. However, sometimes you just get outclassed by better ships. And those ships are, and there's also a division on the opposing team, 2 of them to be in fact. And there are radars on the opposing team, which is another thing that you need to be aware of as you're starting to climb these tiers, especially from tier 6 on. You got to be cognizant of the radars, the ships that are equipped with them, and also those that have really good hydro. You have a York and a Togo that's on the opposing team. You have an Albemarle that has both radar and hydro, and the Missouri is that rare steel ship that is equipped with radar as well. So there's a lot of stuff out here that can spot us, even if we were really low concealed. Thankfully, we're in a ship that has a really crappy concealment for a destroyer, but a very good concealment for a cruiser. We can outspot that Otago, who has a pretty good concealment of his own, but we can outspot him. The Missouri, on the other hand, and the Iowa that spawn over here can make my life pretty miserable. They can radar me, and the radar of the Missouri, I believe, is at 35 seconds, which is long enough for him to get one salvo off, but he's really there for the utility for his team. And there the radar pops up, which has to be the Missouri, unless the Albemarle spawns over here, but spoiler alert, he doesn't. So we are just going to have to chill right here. I was waiting for this to happen. I knew that he was equipped with radar, and I knew that he was going to pop that. For most of it, he kind of wastes it. And here, I need to apologize. The quality of the video, the buffering kind of gets a little cattywampus as we take a shot and we get reset into cap, which was really annoying. I apologize for the quality here. It's not like that throughout the whole video, just this little bitty segment right here. But to be honest, not a whole lot happens right here. So if you can just bear with me on this one. This was a really good match, so I wanted to just kind of deal with a little bit of bad video quality here briefly. That normally doesn't happen to me, but it did in this particular juncture. Anyway, the radar has quit. We have the York and the Otago that are out there, and we are still on the cap. It did get reset. Our div mates are on that left-hand side, as you can see. And they're going to try and stifle these ships as best as they can. But going up against a Missouri and an Iowa against a Hood and a Zara is not going to work out that well. We do have torpedoes, but I can't bum rush these guys and expect to live either. I had to make a calculated call here. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to physically be in the space that they are in. I have a York and an Otago that I have to think about. And here I briefly kind of forget that my spotting range is at 7.4 clicks as I'm kind of pushing into the York. And I kind of get myself spotted on accident here. So there I am. I'm lit up. And at first I'm like, what is spotting me? And then I realize, oh, wait, my concealment sucks. So that was my fault. But I'm quickly starting to disengage. I do shoot as I'm going around this corner. The one thing that I have at my disposal, which is really, really good, is my speed. And that's the thing that you need to utilize whenever you're in these ships. If you have it as a tool, as a weapon, it could be used to dodge and make life miserable for your opponents, especially battleships that only have one really good salvo that they can shoot out at you. And here I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? We unfortunately lost our div mate in the Zara. Our teammate in the Hood is going to do a fantastic job at not only going toe-to-toe against the Missouri and the Iowa, but he's actually going to survive, and he's going to take out the Missouri and still live to tell the tale. So he did a fantastic job slowing them down on that side. I wasn't able to help, unfortunately. I had to make a calculated risk here. And so as we're kind of going around these islands, I want to get a couple of shots. We did get a fire on that battleship that's way out there, the New Jersey. So contemplated shooting again, but the fire is burning. And look at the ship count. Well, we just gained one there. There was that Missouri that our Hood took out. But our ship count is looking rather puny. However, they don't have their destroyer anymore. Technically, I am one, but like I said, when playing the role of a cruiser, it kind of feels like all the destroyers are off the board. But for all intents and purposes, I am still a destroyer, and I am still alive. Our team is doing a really good job of battling at Bravo. And because of that, I was going to come over and help them to kind of dissuade them from being able to take the cap. But our team did a really good job while I was almost there. So now I'm going to head back because I know that the Otago and the York are over there. And now they're starting to flip the cap in which we worked so hard to take. And I don't appreciate that. So we're going to have to go back and reclaim it. However, I'm going to need help because I can't take on an Otago by myself. It's hard to do so. Even though I have really fast-firing guns, the Otago has really hard-hitting 203s. And I'm going to be kind of caught here in between this New Jersey and this Tirpitz that's decided to stay in their home cap this entire time, which kind of worked in a way. It prevented me from traveling over there to take it, because that was one of my thoughts. But we did take a Bravo cap, or our team did rather, and now I've got to handle this Otago, and I'm talking to my teammate here, and I'm like, is there any chance that you can shoot at this guy? Because he's a big problem. And I'm not going to be able to take him on head-to-head. So the Otago, I don't know what's going on if he's hitting the island, but I'm going to throw torps out here, and hopefully they're going to hit. He does have hydro. However, if he's not expecting these torpedoes, he probably won't pop it. Unfortunately, I got spotted right there, so I have to pop my smoke. And the Otago is pushing around the corner, but not quite fast enough like I was hoping he would. He is going to take one of these torpedoes, but he immediately damage cons it, and so now he knows we're here, and his hydro range is right there. So he's a quick cruiser too. There we black out one of his torpedo tubes, which is good, but now he's going to be making his way towards me, and this is where I'm going to need help because I'm spotted. Now I'm trying to get up to speed, but I'm in a really dangerous spot because now the Otago is going to be shooting at me, and the battleships that were in the northern section of the map are also going to be shooting at me. And if my teammate can't help me real quick here, I am done with the chances of us winning pretty much ending right there. So I'm kind of I was furiously asking for help at this moment. I wish you could have heard my audio, but I was a little frantic at the moment. But thankfully, my team does a really good job. My teammate as well, focusing this guy and taking him out. And right when that happens, I immediately drop spot, which was a much-needed sigh of relief. Can't play this game without teammates, and when you have adequate ones, makes it even better. Well, now that we disengaged briefly, the New Jersey was still waiting to shoot at me, and he does get a really good hit, breaks a lot on my ship. We get our damage con back, and now we're going to push back into the cap. We throw torpedoes on the York, but our teammate in the hood does a great job of cleaning him up. So a lot of help from him, and that's going to reflect on the scoreboard at the end of this. So it's really fun when you have really good teammates. Yes, I mainly play solo, but when you have a good division, it can really make the game a whole lot more fun. So I highly encourage you, just try to find, especially with fleets coming, find a team that you can, or a bunch of friends that you can form up and squad up, and just have some fun. That's what this game's all about. Unfortunately, our hood does go down, but he played it really, really well. So we need to really make sure that we play this game perfect for the rest of the time in order to make up for all of the hard work that he did to help us out. We finally get back into the cap. The Iowa is pushing around the corner. I thought I was going to be able to get a free shot without getting spotted, but he's not looking at me. His turrets aren't even facing me, even though we were spotted via the air. Our Kutuzov, which is way out there, that's kind of giving us support, is going to help us out. However, he is going to take a really nasty shot here in just a sec, which is going to whittle him down to almost none. I think this is it right here. And there it is. You kind of see our teammate way out there. He gets reduced to virtually nothing by this Iowa. And the Kutuzov, however, is still alive, and he is going to be effective even though he's in a very weakened state. Here, the Iowa decides to train his guns on me, and because he's looking right at me and expecting me to shoot, I go quiet. Again, taking advantage of the concealment that I have, I am just spotting for my team at this point, and I wanted to take the cap, which I did get it back. So now that is 2 solo caps of the exact same cap that we had to take again. And the Iowa goes dark, so I'm going to take a blind shot right here. But the Iowa's quickly going to realize that trying to focus me is a losing gesture, and he ends up going down to our Kutuzov. So even though he was severely crippled, well done, sir, and taking him out. Here we're trying to turn around to potentially get back towards the northern cap and Alpha. I don't know what's going on. I do see that the last known that there is a cruiser that is out there. Looks like he's pushing towards us, which is not ideal because it's the Albemarle, and the Albemarle has very good HE. It's a very squishy ship, but here late game, the Albemarle can present a massive problem towards me because not only is his HE devastating to me, he also is equipped with radar at 9 clicks, so I'm trying to stay just outside that range. If I can stay right outside of 9 clicks and keep him lit, our Kutuzov can start chiming in to take him out. And the Albemarle is not focusing over here, so I'm going to take this opportunity to start opening up. Yeah, we do get spotted because of it. We are outside of his radar range. Here I think we slow down here because we want to just still be able to get shots on him. But quickly you're going to see that I get spotted from the radar. From the Albemarle, I wasn't sure if he had it left or not. But unfortunately he does, so he's going to start training his guns right over towards me at the same time that he pops his radar right there. But thankfully we're pretty close to the edge of the island, so even though we're not going to be able to take shots anymore, we're able to disengage. Unfortunately, our Kutuzov goes down. He pretty much only needed a little bit of a slight hit to die, but he does a great job of cleaning up the Albemarle. So that is it. Even though we lost the Bravo cap, me being able to, and you can see the score, us taking those caps when we did, even though the Tirpitz and the New Jersey prevented me from taking Alpha earlier, we were able to basically hold on to Charlie the entire match. And that's what made the difference here. Plus our teammates, our div mates that did a really, really good job. At this point, there's nothing else left to do. Even if our remaining battleship on our team dies, we're still going to win. So I'm just going to fast forward here right to the end. Nothing much happens, and we just win on score with 1 second left to go. So that's going to do it for the Minsk in this game. I did not get top spot, but if you look at the scoreboard, we had the top 4 players were all really, really close. All within like basically 100 XP of each other. So that was a really good showcase in teamwork, and the Reds played it very well too, as you had the top 4 all over 1,200 and a loss. So a very competitive game, a lot of fun. Kind of not taking the role of a cruiser. I had to play a destroyer at times as well, but it is effective. You can do it as you saw there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. That's going to do it for the Minsk. But before I close it off, I had a little bit of a bonus footage. So I'm going to sign off for now. But just enjoy this little soiree that me and my same div mates had from this match in an up the middle 2 brothers encounter. Enjoy.